All right. Welcome to the other side of normal. And tonight we have Brenda and Tim from the Paranormal Girls and Tim.
That'd be me.
Guys,
Hello.
thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I know we had a hiccup the first time around, but it's good to get it a second time around.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yep. Thanks for having us on.
Okay, I see private chat. Oh, comments. That's what I want is comments.
Hmm.
Hopefully some of these people show up now and I figure this whole thing out. So I apologize for any issues going forward. Hopefully, we'll get it going all right. The first thing I have to tell you is behind me, I have three dolls, one, two, and three, and they all have cat balls. They are known to not do anything, or they are known to do everything. They do everything on their own terms. But this young lady over here, she is known to, when something factual is stated, she lights that cat ball up. These two, not so much, but the last podcast I had, he went ape shit, just was lighting up the ball. He did it for like 20 minutes straight. And she's her own little girl and she just wants to do whatever. So we'll see what happens with them, but hopefully they'll interact with us a little bit. So you guys should just start by telling me, first of all, about yourselves and maybe how you got into this, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'll let Tim talk first because he's been in it a lot longer, and then I'll come in.
Okay. So I've been paranormal investigator for the past 14 years. So I've seen a lot of stuff, been to a lot of places, mainly did residentials to start out with, was mainly private homes. That's what I started doing. Cleansing homes like that, helping people get with their issues in their home. I was with another paranormal group at one time, and they all disbanded. They're in different parts of the state, so we still communicate with each other. We just don't investigate that much anymore. And so it went on. So I've been going out once a year, visiting them, trying to get investigations done uh, through that. And Brenda started her own group, and we were going to go to Edinburgh Manor, and I asked her if her group wanted to go along. So she decided they would. So we all went to Edinburgh Manor. We got along really well and so forth, and we learned from each other. So here we are today. Now I got adopted. I always told my mom we was adopted, but anyway, now I'm adopted into Paranormal Girls and Tim, which is me. But mainly is I've been investigating for a long, long time. I've done a lot of places. I've been to a lot of places in the United States, a lot more I want to go to, but my experiences over the past 14 years, I've seen the worst side of the paranormal and I've seen the best side of the paranormal. So you name it, throw it at me because I'll tell you I've probably seen it one time or another. So that's a fact. So go ahead, Brenda.
Pretty cool.
Okay. So, yeah, as he said, he was a paranormal investigator. I would ask him to tag along, and I didn't get to go on very many trips. So I decided I was going to form my own team, and I was going to do all girls. Not that I'm opposed to guys, but, makes it a little bit more badass if you're all girls, whatever. So,
Oh, yeah.
I had a meeting, got together with some girls. The four of us get along really good. We vibe good. We started in 2024. I think we did like 2 investigations on our own when Tim asked us to go with him on the investigation at Edinburgh. And then after that, I was talking to the girls and I said, do you guys want Tim to go along again? He has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge and stuff, and we're learning and we can learn more. And they're like, yeah, let him go. So I think there was one other investigation he didn't go on with us, but other than that, he's been on every investigation that we've booked. So I just decided to go ahead and rebrand and add him in as our adopted guy into the group. But yeah, so We do have an investigation coming up on the 23rd, and he's not able to go to that one. So we are doing an old school, just us girls on it. But other than that, yeah, he's a valuable part of the team. We love having Tim on there. I'm an empath. Kathy's an empath. Tanya is a medium, and Misty is a channeler with medium capabilities. So our team is quite, I don't know, extensive or expansive as far as sensitivities go. Tim says he doesn't have anything, but he does, because his abilities are growing and opening more. So he's getting there. I call him an empath in training. Not that you can really call him that, because either you have it or you don't, but he's learning how to work with it more, to be able to feel what we feel and see what we see and hear and all of that stuff. I am nowhere near Tanya's level. She speaks with them. They speak with her. Like, I'm nowhere near that level, but we all have something different that we bring in that makes us a really awesome team. So
do you think that there's ever a time that having that you may have too many abilities and it causes problems for you guys?
We have not. We are actually like sisters from another mother. We're real close knit. We help each other through everything. We have not had any issues as far as whatever. We kind of let like Tanya and Misty lead more, because their abilities are more. So we kind of let them go with it. And then, we chime in every now and again. Like if they're like, well, sometimes they don't say anything and they're like, what do you guys feel? Just to let us be included in. But I love investigating with them. I love having Tanya go into her mode, because we can actually speak a lot to different entities and have conversations using her as a tool. So that's awesome.
That is awesome.
I don't know if Tim's got anything else to add, but
so I was going to ask Tim, how does that make you feel? Because you say you don't have any abilities, or maybe you don't recognize them or whatever, but how does it make you feel when everybody around you is feeling things and you're just kind of going with your gut, right?
I think it's awesome. I wish I had their abilities. I really truly do. I tell them all the time. One thing they're helping me learn is I have a sensitivity level. Everybody in the paranormal has a sensitivity level. I know what mine is, but I'm actually getting better at feelings and knowing what's there and where it's at, and starting to see things that I didn't see before. So I think I have the ability to, but this team is helping me learn and adapt and grow, and working with them. Oh my gosh, if they would give me 10% of what they have, I'd just make my day. It truly would. I'd be cool. I have no problem with it. I love helping these ladies. They ask me questions. They follow me around. They want to know what to do this. I mean, we sit and we're learning about how to do EVP Estes sessions and how to be quiet and how to talk and do things. So we're learning a whole bunch of different methods. So now I'm trying to move forward with their abilities. I know a little bit of history of the place, so I asked them about a location or a certain room, and I just let them go so I can hear what they have to say and then we actually go back and go, yes, that is truly what happened here. So they're appreciative that someone lets them use their abilities and let them speak out and know what they can do. And they're adamant about it. They're getting passionate about it. So we are a really, really cohesive group when it comes to ghost hunting. We truly are. And we're getting better by the minute. So
that is really a great description, Tim. And I think that, so I too have some abilities, but I'm not really in touch with them, and I don't practice them. I just go in and I be myself, and I let my
Mhm.
instincts take over.
Correct.
But I've got one friend that comes with us, and she's one of our teammates. She lives in Ohio, and we're in Pennsylvania, but she comes with us often. And there are times that when we go there, she just stands in front of me, and I hold out my arms, and she holds out her arms, and we just put our hands on each other's inside of each other's arms, and we just let the energy flow. And I see things that just blow my mind about places
Sure.
that she doesn't see by herself, and I will never see by myself. But when we hook up, it's like you just turned on the television to everything that happened in that place. And that's just what somebody else's energy can do for you.
Sure.
And I
Exactly.
think that's really cool that you've got all these ladies that are there to help you out. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't know if that's something that you have tried, or if you thought about trying, or if you want to try in the future. But if you do try it, I'd like to know how that worked out, because
No.
I'm telling you, when the two of us, and we're just got our hands in each other's arms, and it just like blows
Oh,
the place wide open.
no.
And I've
Well,
never experienced anything like that.
I will ask if I could. I'll ask if we can do that. Something we ever look
Yeah,
into. So,
I was gonna say we're definitely gonna have to try that because
correct.
that sounds awesome.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. So what? So somebody asked here, where's your home base? Like, where are you guys from? Well, you said Iowa. Okay.
Yeah, we're out of
Um,
Iowa.
Yeah.
um, well, and as PSTV's in, I haven't seen you in a long time. Um, I just lost my train of thought. I get distracted very easily.
It's okay, Nacho.
And it's usually shiny object with me. Anything shiny, I'm good to go. So.
Squirrel. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done
Squirrel.
for sure. Um, so what's your next investigation? You just said you have an investigation coming up.
Yeah, so we are going to the Haunted Commercial Hotel in Osceola, Missouri. It's a relatively new location. So we're excited to go to that one and check it out. Yeah.
Awesome. I just heard somebody or read somebody else talking about that, and I wish I could remember who it was. Maybe it was on your page.
Um,
Um, but
show me
somebody else was
something.
just talking.
Show me something spooky. Just booked with them guys too,
Okay.
Okay, maybe
and I've
that's
seen them
maybe that's what it was.
posting. Mhm.
Okay. And so we might as well get right into it. How about a favorite place? Your most favorite place to investigate that you've ever been so far?
Oh. Mm.
Well, I I don't know because I like pretty much all the locations that we go to. Each one definitely is a different effect.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. I guess one of my favorites was Fairfield, believe it or not, Tim. Uh,
Hmm.
going out to Fairfield County Infirmary, Tim and I had an experience out there. Um, I don't run from locations, but I was headed towards the stairs because it was frightening what was coming at us in a quick, fast hurry. But
Hmm.
in the same sense, like I would definitely go back there in a heartbeat because there was just something about that location. I can't even describe it. Like there was just something about that location that made the whole experience awesome. Maybe because when I walked through the door, I got a doorway, I got goosebumps. I was like, ooh, I got the pricklies. And right after that, I got the response, oh, I didn't mean to scare you.
Hmm.
So it was almost like I walked through
Yeah.
the energy. Um, so very interactive in that location. And I tend to get drawn back to that one. I was getting drawn back to Malvern for quite a while,
Hmm.
but now it's Fairfield, and I don't know why, but
Sure.
Fairfield was one of my favorite.
You must have unfinished business there.
I guess we got to go
Anytime it
back and
just calls to you,
yeah, we got to go back and figure out what that thing was chasing coming
Mhm.
up the hallway.
Good. Good. So I've been to Fairfield 4 times, and there's a reason why I should go to Fairfield as many times as I can in my life. All 4 times I've been there, it has been an insane thing. I've heard footsteps, screams, furniture thrown in the next room, muffling down a hallway, shadows running. It is the most active place I've ever been in. Almost my second most active place I've ever been in, as far as hunting. I like Fairfield. I'll go back there again as far as when that goes. Um, I did a lot of residential before, and I did some locations. So going with this team, like Brenda's Paranormal Girls, going with them, I truly think I want to go back to Malvern Manor. Malvern Manor in Malvern, Iowa, which is only a half hour from Villisca, actually. It's on about 2 hours from where I live. Is one of the places that you can't be there without having something happen. We've been there once. I want to go back again. That's what this group. I want to go back to Malvern, and of course Fairfield. Just get in a truck. We'll go to Fairfield anytime you want to go. That's not a problem there. For favorite places to go. Before that, I did a lot of residential area, and there's a farm outside of what I want to say, Mount Vernon, Missouri. There's a farm north of town. You can't walk on this property without having an issue. You'll see dead trees standing in the yard that aren't dead trees. I've seen rocks glow. I've seen stuff move. I've seen levitation. To go back there again would be quite the experience. I mean, it would have to be probably doused in holy water just to walk on the property nowadays.
Oh my God.
Where that goes. But actually, that would be one of my favorite places to go to because we never figured out what was going on in that property. We protected the boundary of the property, but if you step outside that boundary, the paranormal activity is just insane. It really, really is.
Wow.
The land's haunted for some reason. I don't know why.
So you're thinking maybe an elemental in there?
Very possible. That's what's in there. Yeah, it's very possible. I saw a tree stump in the yard that I thought was a tree stump, and then I looked at my daughter and I looked back and the tree stump was gone. So there was a demon standing in the yard looking at me, or an elemental in the yard looking at me. So
wow,
and we all saw it.
Holy crap!
Yep,
that's pretty wild.
I said, throw it at me. I've seen it. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you were talking about Fairfield. We have not been to Fairfield yet. It's on our list. But we were just right by Fairfield. And I mean, within like 2 or 3 miles of Fairfield is a place we were just at. I was just telling you guys about this place we were at this weekend. It's the Great Kreitz Octagon House. And I'm like, I don't know how we've been to the Octagon House so many times and not been to Fairfield. We didn't even realize it was so close, right? We've just never mapped it out. And also there's a Licking County Jail is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a good 3 for, on a shorter trip. So if you get back to Fairfield, think about the Octagon House. It's only, I think it's for 5 people. It's $200 for the night. It's good.
Wow, cool.
It's good.
Yep, writing it down.
Yep.
And you can go on Facebook and find their Facebook and all that good stuff. But yes, I highly recommend it, and I tell everybody I know about it. It's an octagon-shaped house. It was built in 1855, 1856, I think it was completed. And it just, in the last, 20 years, it was moved down the street and across the street because Walmart bought the land. So they've had to move it. Now it's in need of some repairs. But the activity is just, it's wild. We've had disembodied voices like crazy, shadow figures, you name it, we've had it there. And then what I just told you guys about a little while ago, which is brand new. But yes, definitely a place to check out.
Cool.
For sure.
So let's see, we talked about favorite places. And you said you don't typically run out of places. Have you ever left a place and said, I'm never going back there again? I mean, obviously, Tim, you want to go back to the place that freaks you out. But is there a place that you're like, nope, I'm not going back?
Tim.
Oh, you want to ask me? Oh, okay. Yes, there's a place that I'm really apprehensive about going back to. And 2016, we went to what's known as a haunted honeymoon hotel. It's in Forsyth, Missouri. 20, 20 or 50, 20 or 15,000 square feet, 3 stories, rooms end to end, hotel rooms, doorways, everything's there. There are the experiences that were in that place. I was there 4 times as well. And all 4 times I saw so much um, activity, dark activity with so many people in that building. So I witnessed actually a hellhound twice. I saw it,
Hmm.
seen shadows move, seen footsteps run beside me, seen rooms with security lights go completely black. Got growled at thin air. I don't know how many times in that place. Literally, seen people get really, really affected in that building, especially females. They really get affected. They're afterwards. There's been 5 deaths in the place from high school kids that broke in, Ouija boards, uh, mechanics and electricians won't go in the building anymore because their tools move or they hear voices or stuff run down the hallway. Nobody will go in this building at all. So
Hmm.
it got bought privately and people fixed it up and are living in it. How? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm really apprehensive about going back there. I've made up my mind I would, if I could, go back there because I need to face what I ran into. But if you want the bad side of the paranormal, and I'm talking demonology, that hotel, honeymoon hotel, is probably the worst place I've ever been in my life. It was absolutely changed. It changed my whole perspective about ghost hunting. It changed my perspective about God. It changed my perspective about everything. I'm a demonologist and an ordained minister now because of that place. That's how that's the experience that I had there. So yeah, look it up. It still exists. It's still standing there.
I I just wrote it down. I'm definitely going to do some research on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, the one that actually shook me to the core, and we're actually going back, so it did not detour me. I'm going back. Was at the Garnett House. Um,
Mm.
I had asked who the entity was that resides there. At that time, the floor shook under all 4 of us. While Tim is standing out of the room, he sees a Raggedy Ann doll lift up off the mantle, come out about a foot, and get thrown down at my feet.
That
I
did
left
Oh,
the
happen.
room. I did
oh.
leave the room because I had to like process what had just happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
That
yeah.
did happen.
It was crazy.
Right.
Um, and all I did was just ask who the entity was. And it was like kaboom. And I'm like,
Right.
what was that? And then they're like, there's a doll at your feet. And I turn around and
And
yeah,
it,
it all happened so fast. It was crazy. Tanya after that, walked through a
right.
doorway upstairs. A thermometer came off the
Mm-hmm.
wall, like an
Mm-hmm.
old
Wow.
metal thermometer, come
Thrown
off the
at her. Yep.
wall. Yeah, it was crazy. But we didn't leave. You know, we had to gather our composure a few times, but we didn't leave, and we'll go back, and we are going back. So,
That's
Yep.
awesome.
yeah,
Oh man. I I believe that it was Ashley from Penn Paranormal that told me about the Garnett House. And
yeah,
it's
Mm.
I'm almost positive it was her, and she told me it's her favorite place to go to, and she goes often.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
There's
very haunted.
there's a lot of people that go to Garnett a lot. Pretty much Penn Paranormal themselves, not just Ashley, but Jen. That's one of her favorite spots. Ghost Light Paranormal, they've been going there a lot lately. Um, yeah, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about a
Okay.
4 hour trip for us. So it's a little bit of a jaunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's a pretty good trip. We
yeah.
try to keep it if we're driving, we try to keep it around 5 hours is our max. I don't want to. Last summer we did a Thursday night at Madison Seminary in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
in northern Ohio. We did the next night we did at the Ross House in southern Ohio, and then we did Poatstown Elementary, which is damn
Yep.
near to Indiana.
Yep.
We put
Yep.
like 1,200 miles on our car, and just hours and hours of driving.
Right.
We had an amazing trip, but we got home and we were just wrecked. I mean, we were
Yeah.
so exhausted, and I'm
That's
like,
for sure.
we're never doing that again.
We just
If we do multiples, we're going to ones that are close to
Yeah.
each other.
yeah, we just did that. We did Billy Creek and Indiana State
Back to back. Yep.
back to back, and that's 7 hours
Yep.
out, 7 hours back.
Yeah.
Plus, we
We're
went
going-
to Stark Saloon and we drove down to the Spirits of Marco.
Yep.
So, we got 4 stops in 2 days.
No,
That's
while
a
you're
pretty
there.
good. So we're doing the same trip this summer. We're going several groups. We're going down. We're doing ISS and we're doing Billy Creek, and we
Mhm.
actually rented a haunted jail for our team, and we rented the whole damn thing, and we all get a separate cell.
Oh yeah,
Oh, cool.
we saw
So-
we saw that.
So the price was really good to just rent the whole thing. So I'm like, it's way cheaper to rent the whole thing than it is to rent 4 rooms
Oh, for
or
sure.
5 rooms or whatever. I forget how many. I think there's 5 of us
Wait a
going.
minute.
So we did. We rented the whole damn thing, and I look forward to it.
Awesome.
That would be
But
awesome.
those are all close together, and I don't want any more of those long, drawn-out drives that keep going farther away and not
No.
getting back this way.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, live in the Midwest like we do, you got to go 7 hours to get somewhere. That's
Yeah, you guys are driving anywhere you want to go. Yeah,
Pretty much. Pretty
absolutely.
much. Pretty much.
So another hot topic is always paranormal equipment.
Mhm.
Do you guys have a favorite piece each, or both the same, or?
I actually love my EVP recorder and my camera. I
Mhm.
mean, that's as basic as it gets. I do love the other one, but I know Tim's going to talk about it, so I won't mention it. His favorite piece.
Okay.
Um, But yeah, so go ahead.
Well, I got a truckload full of equipment and probably going to wind up with more here much longer. My favorite, and so I'm old school, and I learned the ghost hunt with the night vision camera and a digital recorder in my hand. That's how I learned. And so that I'm like Brenda. That's my 2 favorite pieces of equipment. Those are the things going to give me the most evidence that I can actually come up with. But one of my favorite pieces is my SLS. Oh God, I love my SLS. That thing is totally awesome. Paid the money for it. But there's one more we've added to our little arsenal here, and that's a dead bell. The dead bell is one of the most awesome piece of equipment we've ever messed with. I mean, it is. I don't get how that thing works so well. It's just crazy how you get responses. We were in the basement over in Alton, Illinois. And I'm going to call it dueling dead bells because that's what was going on. But we were actually holding them in our hand with the sensor away from us. And Brenda had one, and I had one, and this thing was running back and forth, hitting each bell in our hands. I mean, literally.
Wow.
This went on for like
Wow.
20 minutes in the basement. So,
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
holding
wow.
like this.
yeah, bring on the dead bell.
And then I ended up putting the dead bell on my leg
Yeah,
with nothing touching it, and it was still going off like
it's
crazy.
still going off.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have the dead bell that we have it's mounted on a platform, but there's nothing mechanical about it. But on the platform, it's basically like an EMF device, right?
Right.
EMF gets near it and it lights up and it'll make sounds. You can turn the lights and sounds off, whatever. But the bell, something has to physically hit
Touch
it
the
to
bell.
ding, right? There's no trigger on it. And I'll tell you what, when that dead bell goes off, your heart just stops
It does.
because you know without a doubt that something has touched that bell. There's no
Right.
other way that bell's going to ring. And that's why I like this dead bell. But it's not sensitive and it's not reactive to
Okay.
anything else. I mean, you can get EMF all the time. The lights are going, the sounds are going,
Mm,
but the bell rarely goes off. But when that damn bell goes off, your
totally.
heart just stops. You're like,
Yeah,
that is cool.
it is.
Um,
It is really cool.
and so I do want to buy one of those other dead bells to have it,
Mhm.
and I want to put them like side by side and see how things react.
One
But
thing
yeah,
about
I think
getting a
the dead
regular,
bells are really
yeah,
cool.
then getting a regular desk bell and just take it and see what happens. Set it down and
I've
see if it.
I've got one of those too. Yeah, we take one of those with us all the time as well. And I don't put it out all the time, but there was only one time that I did put it out that it rang.
That's cool.
And again, to me, it's amazing when they do something like that.
Good.
Uh,
There's a lot of
and
energy.
you talked about yes, it is. It takes a lot of energy. You talked about your SLS. We bought an SLS, oh, maybe 2 years ago, and man, I loved it. I really thought it was cool. And then we went to a meet and greet with these YouTubers that are called oh my gosh, I forgot their name. Deborah, tell me their name. Oh, Paranormal Quest. Never mind, I got it. I don't know if you've ever watched Paranormal Quest on YouTube. They're bigger YouTubes, very very nice guys. But we did a meet and greet with them down in here in Pittsburgh, and they were doing a raffle for their XLS, and so I bought $40 worth of tickets. And don't you know they pulled my name? And I
Nice.
got this XLS
Hmm.
from Horn Paranormal, and it's mind blowing. And of course, I had them sign it and took
Sure.
pictures with it, so I got proof that they gave it to it. Well, they didn't give it to us, but we wanted it in a raffle,
Hmm.
and it's really cool. But every time we go somewhere now, somebody else is taking theirs, so why take two? So I
Yeah.
don't even usually take mine anymore.
I got you. Got you. That's my next move, the next LS. That's my next step up. So
Yeah, I really do like it. I think it's a good tool if it's used right.
correct.
Like any of these tools, right? They all have a use, and
Hmm.
if you can get something on that and confirmation from something else, say the dead bell's going off, or say, the REM pod goes off at the same time, and you've got confirmation. I mean, that just
Yeah,
tightens the case for what we're doing is we're proving it day by day.
exactly.
I don't think any of these things are good on their own, but if you can use them in conjunction with each other,
Yeah, exactly.
we just bought a portal right after last Christmas, and man, that thing to me is a game changer. Uh, we get stuff through the portal that is just mind blowing, mind blowing.
Gotcha.
So I would say that now the portal is now my favorite piece of equipment.
Okay.
Um, I mean,
Misty,
you've always got your camera, you always got your
Correct.
recorders, and I think those are must haves. So any other favorite is not taking that place, but
Yeah.
working with it.
mhm.
Correct. Exactly.
Our team member Misty built us a portal
Yeah.
that we
Awesome,
use.
Yeah.
awesome. I just wouldn't even know where to start, right? I mean,
I think she YouTubed videos
Yes, she
and then
did.
yeah.
she got all the pieces and then she put it
Right
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fear is I would buy all this shit and then I can't make it work, and then I've got to go buy the dang thing completed anyway. So just skip all the parts that I'm going to screw it up,
Yeah.
and let's just buy it and be done with it.
There you go.
All right, there
There
you
you
go.
go. That's good. That's the best way to look at it.
For sure.
Uh,
For sure. For
and our
sure.
tripwire. Our tripwire is another thing that I've really, really grown to like a lot.
No, we have.
We
Yeah.
have it was a 36-foot tripwire. It's
Wow.
huge,
Wow.
but it's amazing. It's amazing. And now they
Oh.
have them that have sounds and all this other stuff with them. And I'm like, well, I guess we bought ours at the wrong time, but I'm very happy with ours.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple. One of the Kathy, she's got a couple tripwires.
Right.
She's got like a coffin music box,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a doll that has a sensor that lights up if she's touched.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So Deborah just said her favorite is the death whistle and
I
the
have
tripwire.
one. I have a
Yeah,
death whistle. We've just never used it.
I'm going to tell you, we've used ours a couple times, and it's I, it could just be coincidence, but when we've used them, it always seems like it picks up the energy.
Really.
Okay.
I might have to take it.
I
I
mean,
say let's do it.
you just have to watch where you're at, because if you disturb the neighbors, you might just totally freak them out, and the whole city runs away.
Yeah.
Oh, right, for sure. For sure.
We usually wind up going those places. You got to wind up with a tetanus shot anyway, so we're good. We can use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deborah says that the tripwire definitely goes through batteries, and we do. We probably replace the batteries once or twice every investigation in that thing.
Dang.
It gives you so much. They love
Well,
that.
being 36 feet long, I can see going through the batteries like that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours is small. They're not very big. They're not very long. So, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Ah, you got what I just had. I passed it on to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
I get up at 3:30 in the morning to go to work, so about this time of the day, I'm headed on the down.
I understand that.
Yeah. Oh, when you go to Indiana State, be prepared, because there's no electricity, no cell phone reception, no nothing.
No.
So, like, when you're in those buildings, you're dead, basically.
You are.
You can't talk. I mean, unless you have walkies where you can talk to other people in the building, you don't know where anybody else is or anything without running into them, because there's no way to communicate.
Wow.
And it's huge.
We definitely have walkies.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, we did too, but we didn't end up dispersing them out. So,
Right. Yeah, because you don't think about that.
Right.
yeah, we just ran into people. We're like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Glad to see that you're still with us.
Yeah.
All right. Deborah wants to know, do y'all have any haunted dolls, or do you ever take any haunted objects with you?
We do not have any haunted dolls. I, number one, am petrified of dolls, period.
That's a terrible thing to tell me.
I know. And you're like, I have dolls. And I'm like, okay, but
the
those
last
aren't so
person that
bad.
told me they were petrified of them, he got 3 of them in the mail.
If you
do you want a mailing address?
Yeah, if you send them to me, they're going to him because they ain't staying here. But anyway, we've started taking some trigger objects depending on the location and the little bit that we know about it. We haven't done it a lot, but we are starting to get into it more.
Correct. More, yeah.
Cool.
So hold on. I'll be right. Hold on a second. Hold tight.
Go ahead. He's got something.
All right. So Indiana State Sanitarium, right? This is the board out of Indiana State Sanitarium. Hangs in my house. Now the graphics on it are drawings. There's a lady at Billy Creek who makes her own language. She actually does stuff for Doctor Who. So I asked her to put Indiana State Sanatorium on this board, and this is her description of the writing that she does.
Wow, that's wild.
So yes, this is a haunted piece from Indiana State Sanitarium. Plus, we were allowed, Brenda's got a bottle, and they said, you know what, that broken glass out there, if you want some, take it home. So we got some broken glass from Indiana State. So
that's pretty cool.
Did we ever bring haunted stuff home with us? Yes.
But we don't take it with us. We don't so much take it with us.
I might start taking this with me all the time.
Yeah.
Deborah said we need her mailing address.
She did. I saw that. I'm like,
No, we wouldn't send you. We just did it because this guy is. We were actually just investigating with him this weekend, and we do another podcast, and it's 3 groups, and they're one of the groups, and he is genuinely petrified of these dolls, and we're like, we're going to help you get over this, and so we did. We sent them to him, and he opened the package on the live, and you could just see how uncomfortable he was. He was such a good sport about it, and total honesty here, they were not haunted dolls. They were just like dolls that we found at a thrift store or whatever, just as a prank type thing. Now, could they be haunted? Maybe, but we don't know that they were haunted, and we really wouldn't do that to somebody. But he was a really good sport about it, and we laugh about it. And one of the big group events we went to this year, everybody we collaborate with, we all do a big end of year collaboration, and we let our followers vote for who was going to be doing these special things, and poor Justin got voted to be doing a solo with some dolls, and he was terrified of it, but he did it, and I think he came out better for it. But yeah, we're terrible when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, one of them I wanted to be that, oh, you're going to be in a room by yourself, and you're going in without a flashlight, but there'll be a flashlight in this area for you. But you have to find the flashlight. Oh, then by the way, you've also got to find the batteries that won't be with the flashlight, and you can't have anything else with you.
That'd be
that's
awesome.
just that's the kind of evil stuff that we come up with. But
I'll just go in the dark and just be in the dark. I don't really need a flashlight.
Yeah, but you can't come out until you found the flashlight and the batteries.
Oh, dang.
It'll turn daylight sooner or later.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, it depends on what room in the house and the building you're in.
That's very true.
You may be in a building. You may be in part of the building with no windows.
I'd probably be in
a lot of questions.
Deborah is the master of questions.
She's got a lot.
That's fine.
You should try hanging out with her every day of the year. So if you've ever felt like you had a hitchhiker or a follower or an attachment, anything like that?
Go on, Brenda.
I have not. I've had that I've brought home anyway. I've inherited things that had hitchhikers that Tim has had to dispose of, but I don't feel I've not ever brought anything home with me this far.
Sure. So, yes, I've had in the past. I've actually even had in my house, and I have to tell them to get out, and I know how to do that. And they usually last a couple of days and are gone. But one experience, Cynthia and I went to a, what do you call them? God dang it! What's that place up there in northern Iowa? What's it called?
Edinburgh.
Grotto. We went to a grotto, and this grotto, and there was a pray session back there, and we were just walking around the grotto, and I got to this edge, it said pray session, and I couldn't step past the sign. I could not get myself to walk past this sign. Finally, I pushed through it, like past the sign. When I did, I seen a black shadow dart and run over in a bush beside me. So, yes, even though I know how to get rid of them, sometimes I don't know I have them either. So, It's possible to do. So that's how I got rid of that one. But I didn't know I even had. So, but mostly I get them out of my house.
So I had a follower for 18 months that I didn't know I had for most of that time. And we just met somebody and we were talking to them. And the lady kind of looks past me and she's like, well, who's that? I'm like, who's what? Standing behind you. Who's that? Like, there's somebody standing behind me. She's like, yeah, there's somebody right over your shoulder. Like, what are you talking about? So then she pulls out her, what do you call them? Like a crystal on a chain. I forget, a
Yeah.
pendulum,
Yeah.
right?
Pendulum.
She pulls out her pendulum and starts asking all these questions. And, you know, it kind of freaked me out, the answer she's getting. And I'm very skeptical of things I don't know much about. And I couldn't tell you anything about a pendulum or whatever. I just know that somebody's holding it, and it'd be very easy with minor movements to make it move whatever way you want it to move. So I was very skeptical of this. But she says to me that this person knew me in another life. I don't know how much I know or believe in that, but whatever. That he could harm me, but he chooses not to, and that he wanted me to take him somewhere. And I'm like, okay, tell me where and I'll take you. Well, that's not how this works. You have to figure out where to take him.
Oh, goodness.
How am I supposed to figure this out? Right. So I sat down, I did a lot of thinking. I'm looking at every place we went and what we did. And I pretty much believe that I picked it up at the Bel Air house in Bel Air, Ohio. It was the very first investigation with the first team we were with. And I was upstairs. There was me and three women in this little room. And I heard a noise in the hallway. And I'm like, out in the hallway, hey, can you do that again? Just to prove that you're here, whatever. And nothing's going on, nothing's going on. And I'm maybe 5 feet from the top of the steps in between these two bedrooms, looking the other direction. And all of a sudden, something ice cold touches the back of my neck and shoulder. And then it just, I can only explain that maybe it pulled through me, but it took my breath away. I was like gasping for air, and and I'm doing that, I'm holding my phone at this point, or my camera at this point, and I'm gasping for air, and I just kind of turned because I didn't want to fall down the steps. As I turned, I faced these ladies in this room, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm with these ladies. I can't freak out because if I freak out, they're going to freak out. What the hell am I going to do? Well, one of the ladies was a psychic, and she looked at me. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm a bit of a smart aleck, okay? I don't know if you can tell that. And I'm like, "You're the freaking psychic. You tell me what's wrong, because I don't know what just happened." And so, after a few minutes, I said, "I need to take a break. Let's go take a break." And I went outside, and in my head, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm kind of new to this, and what just happened, and so that's where I think I picked it up at, because I never before had anything like that, and never after anything like that. So we start going on all these investigations after this lady tells me he's there, and I'm often the one that does the Estes, right? I'm the one that goes under, and we'll be having a great Estes just rolling along, and all of a sudden, hey boy, that's his calling card. He calls me boy. Hey boy, and then everything gets really dark from there on out. I'm gonna kill you, and I mean it just goes really dark. Well, that's the end of the Estes. We're done, and this goes on for months and months. And I don't know where to turn. I don't know what to do with it. And one night we went to Ohio State Reformatory. Actually, it was last July. We went to Ohio State Reformatory and had a good night. And as we were leaving, we're walking toward the car. And I looked at Deb and I'm like, it's gone. Well, Deb's mind was on the car. And she's like, what? The car's gone? What do you mean? What do you mean the car's gone? I'm like, no, the car's right there. The car's not gone. It's gone. Follow. She's like, what? How do you know? I said, because I feel like the weight of the world just lifted off of me. And I didn't know that I felt like that, right? But it was just like, poof, it was just gone. And I'm like, this is where it wanted to go? Because it's not that far from Bel Air. I mean, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe? Damn, you couldn't catch a train or something? You had to get me to take you all around the damn countryside? But that was a huge relief to get rid of that. Then this year, we went to the Ohio State Reformatory again, and then 2 weeks later, I was going back to the Bel Air house, and I really started thinking, what if this thing wants another ride? I don't want to carry this around with me anymore. Um, Nothing. I had no interactions whatsoever with him. I don't know if he went there and jumped on somebody else to go somewhere else. I don't know. But when it left me, it really did. It felt like the world was lifted from my shoulders, and I did not realize that I felt that way the entire time. But when it was gone, man, I knew it immediately.
Correct.
And I don't wish it on anybody.
Mm.
I mean, like, it would come to me in dreams.
Yeah.
It would come to me, like I said, anytime we were doing an investigation, I did an Estes. It was right there to remind me, hey, I'm here, and I can mess up your world if I want to.
Correct.
So I mean, just definitely, I tell everybody, I'm sure you're careful, but be careful because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
You have no idea.
So Deb has like 9 more questions.
I know.
Do you guys do any type of protections or rituals or anything like that?
We do. We do a protection prayer before we go in. We do one when we are done. Depending on the location, if it's more of a negative side, we will smudge. If we're just kind of like, we just had cool interaction all night, we normally just do the protection prayer and that's it. We carry blessed pendants or wear blessed pendants, and we carry crystals. Tim does his own thing, but that's what us girls do.
Yeah. Well, being ordained and being a demonologist, me and God have an understanding. We know, and when I make sure that we know that before I go and when I get back. But we do carry, I have the 7 angels, protective angels, a medallion I carry all the time. The only time I take this off when I take a shower, because I know what's out there in the world, paranormal wise, I mean, as far as that goes. We have St. Christopher, we have St. Michael's blessed medallions that we can wear. So we do a lot of protection for ourselves because it's something I think you should do, because you don't know what you're going to run into anywhere you go. And so Deborah asked a question about, do we use spirit boards, or what about people who they antagonize when they investigate? So we don't use spirit boards on our investigation. We don't use any type of equipment like that or try to bring spirits in that way, because we don't want a negative spirit. We don't want to create one or bring one or leave one, or whatever the state may be. Plus, we don't want to face it at the same time. Have we played with spirit boards in the past? I don't know too many people who have it, but as far as that goes. Now that people who, well, see, there you go. Cool, Brenda, you have it. But anyway, but people that antagonize, or they hype the spirit up thinking that's get it to do it. If you do that, okay, fine. But don't be in a collab with me and then I walk into your space after you've done it. So I don't know what you created. I don't know what people the day before created. I don't know what the people the day after is going to create. I have no idea. So we don't do that either. We don't we don't try that method, because I don't want to stir something up for somebody else. Because the spirit you were talking about earlier, the one that choked you and all, how did it get there and who brought it there? Did somebody actually do something to bring that forth? And now you're being affected by it. We don't need that in the paranormal world. That's something we need to stay away from.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm ordained as well. So I have I have my cross, I've had a St. Michael's, and I've got a ring of a St. Benedict that is too small for my fat fingers, and I've got a St. Benedict bracelet that I wear.
Sure.
And I don't think that you can be too careful. And as far as the people that like to try to get a rise out of them, this should all be about respect. We're supposed to respect the living. We definitely should respect the dead. And when we're in their house, absolutely should we respect them. And I think that there's too many people in this community that do not have that respect. They want views on their videos. right? They think they're going to
Right.
make millions of dollars on YouTube because they're like Zach Bagans, and I'm gonna curse these demons out, and that's just not what you really should be doing.
Correct.
So I'm with you on
I
all
agree.
those topics. The spirit boards, I've got friends that use them.
Mhm.
Um, I would just rather not. We don't use them on our team, and that's the first thing I tell anybody that if they're even thinking about joining the team, here's the
Mhm.
rules. You're going to respect the spirits. You're not going
Right.
to use these boards, and so on and so forth. But yes, that's to me that's a big deal. If you
Right.
can't the spirits, you don't have any reason in this.
Exactly. Because you don't know
Uh,
if you're not proficient in spirit boards and activity like that, there's no telling what you're going to do. I
nope.
mean, it might be the worst thing ever for you to do that as the
Yep.
person doing it. So, yeah,
And not only you, but you can affect many, many more people down the line.
correct.
Mhm.
If you don't know how to operate a bulldozer, you shouldn't be driving a bulldozer.
That's true.
At least know what the hell you're doing before you pull something like that out.
Right.
And that can
Exactly.
have as big an effect of somebody driving a bulldozer. I
Correct.
mean, you can hurt a lot of people with that kind of crap.
Exactly.
So I definitely agree with that. I think she's running out of steam. What are your
Mhm.
three top locations on your bucket list that you'd like to investigate?
Oh,
I don't even have to ask the questions. She's doing them all for me. That's
I
perfect.
know, right? Go ahead, Tim.
so I got too many to be top three, but if I have to pick, I actually pick somewhere Brushy Wood, Penhurst, and Alcatraz. Those are my top three locations. That's where I think I want to go to those three so much. I've been to Missouri State Penitentiary. If you get a chance to go there, go to Missouri State. That is one very haunted prison. But
Yes.
so and I think my lore with those three are the history that goes along with it and everything that's ever happened to them. I mean, how can you have that much turmoil in an insane asylum and two prisons that you can't have activity? It's impossible. It's just
Absolutely.
impossible.
Excuse me. Um, Mine always has been Alcatraz. Always, always. Waverly Hills is big on that. Um, I am like Tim. I want to do Brushy Mountain uh, for sure, but Moundsville,
Oh,
the
Moundsville.
West Virginia State Pen. Yeah,
Get in the truck.
Transylvania.
So,
Well, we're going to Moundsville in August. I mean, we're
oh,
we're only an hour from it. We've been
yeah.
there three times, and all three times it's been closed.
Oh
Ah,
no!
oh,
So we are going. We are going
yeah,
this summer, and then we're also going to Penhurst because this is probably the end for Penhurst.
I
This is
know
the
yeah,
that
last
sucks.
last year, so
yeah.
we had to somehow get into that, and our friends from Steel City Paranormal made both of those happen, and we're really thankful for them because they are two that we definitely have to get to. Alcatraz is one I would love to go to. I just don't think I'll ever get there.
Gotcha.
Um, la la la. Also, the old Washoe Club
Oh,
is
yeah. Washoe Club
one
would
of
be
them that's like number one on my list is the Washoe Club.
oh,
I've
cool.
I've already checked Penhurst off, and I've already checked Moundsville off because we're going, damn it.
There you
But
go.
yeah, the old Washoe Club, Virginia City. That's where I want to go. I retire in about 4 years, and I really think that that's probably one of the places that we go to once I'm done working.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yeah, and Brushy Mountain. I'd love to go to Brushy Mountain as well.
Mm-hmm.
All
Lots,
phenomenal places for sure.
yeah, lots and lots of places to go
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Um,
Yes.
she just put in there to go to Gettysburg. I went to Gettysburg in fifth grade. Tim's been to Gettysburg. We do want
Mm-hmm.
to go back to
Mm-hmm.
actually like investigate over
Yeah.
there. and do
Yeah.
more touring and stuff like that. So
Yes. If you're going to Gettysburg, let me know because I will hitch a ride. So,
We go to Gettysburg often. It's like 3 hours for us, but you can't ever go wrong with a trip to Gettysburg.
yeah.
There's
Okay.
just so much to see, so much to do, all that history. You can just drive around and just be in awe of everything.
Oh yeah.
And then you hit the places like the orphanage that just scares the hell out of most people, and that's really what most people want. That's what I want. I want to be scared,
Good.
and it Gettysburg is really, really a great place to go to.
Yeah, it would be. Talk about going to places closed. I drove 12 hours down to Bell Witch and got up to the gate. Got my picture by the sign.
Oh,
Closed. Right. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. Drove all the way down there. Yeah.
you didn't make a movie out of that, like you're taking your kids to Wally World, did you?
I cannot confirm or deny. Okay. At this point.
Well, I've never seen you and Chevy Chase in the same room at the same time.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than going somewhere and it's closed. And then you're like, how didn't I know this? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She also has some of the big locations around us. Edinburgh Manor,
Mhm.
Villisca Axe House, Malvern Manor, Beatty Mansion in St. Joe. We are about 3 hours from Atchison, so
Yep,
about 3 hours from
Mhm.
Sally House, the McIntyre Villa.
Mhm. Mhm.
What else do we got that's close?
Well, we're starting to branch out to the west and go into Nebraska. We're starting to find some places out there. Went to Alton, Illinois. We went to McPike Mansion and so forth. So we have to travel out of our state to really get to the famous places, except for the Ackmiller House. That's an hour. It's only an hour and a half away from where I live, so that's not very far.
And so is that place pretty active?
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
Because I've had some people tell me that they've been there, a couple different groups. So we were there and nothing happened. Well, that can happen anywhere, right?
Correct.
Somebody goes in the night before and has a crazy night, maybe used all the energy, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I'm definitely interested. The Sally House is one that would be like 6 or 7 on my top 10 to go to.
Yes.
It's just a place that really that's one of the places that call me, the Sally House, and we'll get there as well. Again, probably not to retire, but
you should do McIntyre while you're at it, because every once in a while, Steph will put out her live streams for free to watch, and the activity in that place is just ridiculous. We're going in July, so we can't wait to go. But yeah. What was the other thing I was gonna say about that? The first time we went to Villisca, it was super active. That was my very first location investigation, and I went with Tim and a couple of people from his old team. Then the second time that we went, those one people said it was really dead. It wasn't very active at all. But then Tim went last year.
Yeah.
And it
late fall last year. Yeah.
And it was active again. So yeah, if we could get them to come out on command, or when we want them to, then we would have great investigations all the time. But sometimes they don't want to be involved. They don't want to come out and play, or
it happens.
And that's just part of investigating. You take the good with the bad.
Correct.
So
absolutely. So we went to, I think it was 2 years ago, we went to the Monroe House in Indiana. And when we got there, the owner Eddie was there, and he said to us, he really doesn't believe in all this paranormal stuff, but people seem to like it, so whatever, come to the house. I don't know. But he said the group that was there before us the night before was a paranormal group, a big YouTubers. They've been around a long time. He didn't tell us who they were. He said, but they left out of there shortly after midnight, freaked out, and said they will never, ever come back.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, we're going to have a good night.
Nothing.
We had stuff happen. And I tell you, we was in the basement, right, where the crawl space is to go look at all the bones that they found. Well, we went down the basement, and the light switch for the light is up at the top of the steps. Well, I'm not making everybody walk down there in the dark or anybody walk down there in the dark. So we all went down, and I unscrewed the light bulb, right? And I unscrewed it, and I tapped it a couple times to make sure that it was not going to pop back on. And okay, cool. So we sat down there for about 45 minutes. We had some interaction, and then everything stopped for about 15 minutes. And I'm like, all right, maybe we call quits and we go upstairs. I get up and I started to walk toward where the light was. And as I'm reaching for it, I'm still 2 feet away from it. That light comes on. And I'm like, oh shit, what is this?
Mm.
And it stays on. Well, then I touch it and it goes out, and I'm tapping the bulb and it's not lighting. And then I screw it in again. How did that light come on, right? And I'm like, okay, somebody's telling us we need to go upstairs. And I mean, we had some activity, but we didn't have anything that made us think that, oh, we shouldn't be in this house. And so I just chalked it up to they used all the energy the night before, right? I mean, it wasn't a dud. And we took a friend of ours that was his very first investigation, and he was not comfortable. And we slept there. And he's like, he brought his little mattress. He's like, I laid on the floor and I didn't move. He said, I didn't sleep, but I didn't move and I didn't open my eyes because I didn't want to see anything. So we did. We had a good time, but we didn't have a lot of interaction.
Yeah. Well, and another thing about YouTubers, they're all about the views to make that money. So if they can make it seem bad, I actually think I know who it was because I think I watched the episode. But they think that when you hear that bang, like if they go running out, then one, that boosts the ego for the location and it makes them look good. And even if it wasn't that bad, and some of them, not all of them, but some of them, I think are scared of their own shadow. So any little interruption is gonna be tenfold for them, and they're gonna run. Oh, yeah, because I know of one that I do watch, and they do run out of a lot of locations because they hear a big bang and I'm like, why? Why did you run? But I mean, everybody's different, so they do.
Right. It's all shock factors. People will watch this. People want to see this. People want to think that we're scared, and okay, that's cool, but then you're in it for the wrong reasons, right? I mean, look, if I put up a video, I'd like people to watch it because I've shared something with them, and it's nothing that I faked or overhyped or anything else, and that's what you really want. But people really, truly want to be entertained and don't really care if here's a scientific approach and that's boring, right? So we want excitement and
correct.
When we go in, like, we're super respectful. We try to get their stories. Like, that's why we go, is we want to try to figure out why they're there. And, to be able to share whatever they will allow us to share. We were at Billy Creek, like we were talking about earlier, and we were in the Civil War farmhouse. And we actually had a good hot session with the lady of the house. And it through Tanya, thankfully, but it's like she just wanted to be heard. She was very upset, and she was saying all this stuff, and Tanya's like, no, I'm not saying it. And I said, no, let her vent. like let her get it out. And once she went ahead, Tanya was saying everything that she was hearing and getting it out, she looked at us and she goes, she wants me to tell you thank you.
Correct.
And you guys are like the most respectful team that's been here in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Correct.
Because we let her talk. We let her get out what she needed to get out. So, sometimes it is all about just not what we can get for evidence, not what we can get for views or anything like that, but it's letting them have their voice to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's why we do what we do.
Yep. No, I agree with you. It's all about respect.
Yep.
Okay, I have this question that I ask everybody.
Oh,
And I know Deborah's probably up there rolling her eyes at me right now. And it's a two-part question. Do you believe that cemeteries are haunted?
I do.
Yes, definitely.
And why would they be haunted?
For me, I think some people feel that they have been forgotten. So they hang around in case somebody comes in and wants to talk with them or tries to talk with them. Maybe they're trying to figure out where they are. Maybe they don't realize they're in a cemetery with other dead people. I don't know. It's weird. I've actually gone to a couple of cemeteries and have run some like spirit box sessions with them and have gotten responses. And I just think that a lot of them do actually feel like they're forgotten, especially if you have a war area, like they just, like, I don't know, like I will go into that area and I will say out loud, I just want to thank you guys for your service. Like none of it goes unnoticed. If it wasn't for you and your sacrifice, like we wouldn't be where we are today. Like I tell them that, along with living people, I tell them that as well. But, I think that sometimes once they pass away, people don't go to the cemeteries. They don't visit people anymore. And they're just lonely souls wandering around because they've been forgotten.
Awesome.
Why do
them, but that's me.
Why do I think they're haunted? Well, let's explain the paranormal, because we can't. We don't understand enough of it to know exactly how it works. So if my house is haunted, why not the cemetery be haunted? The souls are there. I mean, did their soul, so we get into the soul part of it. Did their soul leave their body when they died, or did it leave their body later in the cemetery? Is it still there? Is that the last place they remember? There's certain things that go with that, so forth. And it is remembrance for people, because when they go there, they want to remember that loved one. So are they keeping that spirit alive at that particular spot? Because that spirit knows how they can communicate with the living at where they're at. So so trying to understand the paranormal, why is anywhere haunted in the world at all? I mean, why is it? In our 3D world, how do they walk beside us and we can't see them, but we know they're there? So cemeteries, I think, are similar to like a gathering place, possibly. I mean, how does it not do it? But then again, I mean, we got the headless horseman running loose, but I don't know if he's out there anywhere in our cemetery. As far as it goes, I think there's just enough, I mean, energy. I mean, how can the energy be in one spot? Can it be in a cemetery? And the cemetery 2 miles down the road have no energy in it? How does that? We can't explain that. So how does that happen? I mean, that's the thing. So investigate cemeteries. Why? Because we want to figure out why they are haunted. Why is it this way? So.
Both are really, really good answers. Some of the best answers I've ever had. And now I'll give you a brief overview of how I used to think about it and how I think about it now. Before the person has died, their soul has left their body, and There's nothing there but a vessel, and we buried the vessel, so there shouldn't be anybody there. Okay, that's how I used to think about it.
Mhm.
But if I walk outside in my front yard every day, and I stand there and I talk to spirits, and I just talk.
Correct.
Hey, is anybody around? Come talk to me. There's spirits everywhere, right?
Mhm.
They're going to hear somebody talking to them because nobody talks to them, right?
Correct.
They're going to hear somebody talking, and they're going to gather there because I'm talking. And eventually, my front yard is going to be a hot spot, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So the same thing goes for a cemetery. If you lose a loved one, you go there
Correct.
and you talk to them. And maybe you go every day for the next 20 years and you're talking to your loved one. And maybe it's not your loved one hearing you, but it's all these other spirits that are around that just want some contact.
Mhm.
And I really believe that you can make any place haunted if you want. And that's why I
Yes.
tell people never investigate in your house. But there are
Never.
spirits everywhere. It's just that nobody talks to them.
Correct.
If everybody ignored you for the next 2 years, excuse me, wouldn't you go to the first person you hear talking?
Mhm.
Exactly.
I just think we don't communicate with, on the average, people don't talk to spirits, right?
Correct.
Those of us in the paranormal do, but we go somewhere specific to do that. Really, we can talk to them anywhere.
Yep.
And I think we could find a lot of interesting stories from spirits by doing so. Now,
Correct.
again, you don't want them in your house, you don't want them in your front yard, you know, but you want a place for them to go. And boy, a cemetery is going to be exactly what you said, a gathering place. People go there and talk to spirits, and poof, you're going to get all kinds of spirits. It may be the person that's buried there. It may be somebody from 3 cemeteries away
Correct.
that hears you calling them,
Correct.
right? And that's kind of my idea, my thought process on it. I don't have any scientific facts to back that up, but if you go out and you talk to spirits, eventually they're going to come, right?
Exactly.
I took my sister to a cemetery. Her son had passed away at a younger age. We went to the cemetery, took the spirit box. We had a conversation with this young man like you wouldn't believe. Things that only he would know, he answered, okay? So I left and I'm like, that was crazy. But then I started thinking, was he really at the cemetery or is he always with us and we just don't talk to him?
Mhm.
Do we have to go to the cemetery to talk to him? So,
No.
you know, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but I used to think, no, cemeteries should not be haunted
Mhm.
because the soul is
Spirit's
long
gone.
gone.
Spirit's
Correct.
long gone.
But anywhere that people gather and talk to spirits, their loved ones, they're going to draw other spirits.
Yes, they will.
Like you could keep going to all these haunted locations and always run into somebody new that you didn't communicate with before.
Correct. That's the
Yep.
thing about paranormal.
Yep. For sure. For sure. Things
Because
got
ever
deep there
since-
for a second. Whew.
Yeah. And I ask everybody the same question and I give them the same answer. And a lot of times I get the same reply. I was like, wow, that was really deep. And I try to keep this as lighthearted and as friendly as possible. But I think that the more that we can bring up examples and talk about things, we're just opening our minds up even more to thinking of things that we've never even considered
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
Correct.
And
For sure.
really, that's what it's going to take, is opening up our minds and finding things that I think we really have to be outside the box on this whole paranormal thing.
Exactly.
And maybe we're all going at it the wrong way. I don't know what the right way is. I
We
do know a
don't.
guy.
We don't.
We don't.
That's the
We
thing.
don't.
We have no idea. So we don't understand
You know,
enough of it. So
uh-uh.
we will
I
one
know a
day.
guy named,
We will one day because we'll be one of them
Okay.
people in the cemetery talking
on
to
the other
us.
side.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, hey, idiot, this is how you do it. They're not listening to us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. When we're dead and we come back to hunt and we're like, yeah, no, this isn't how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do it this way. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of my friends, his name is Dr. J. Blackburn. He has a doctorate in metaphysical science, which just blows me away. I mean, like this guy is the ghost professor, right? And he always talks about um, different levels of how does he say it? Um, man, there it goes again. Gone from my head. Different. Come on, Deborah, help me out here. I use this example all the time.
Hmm.
So, like, in essence, you could be standing in a room that has a spirit in it, and you're interacting with it, and then a second spirit comes along and interacts with you. But those two spirits are two separate realms. They don't know each
Mhm.
other's there,
Yeah,
right? He
yeah,
doesn't call them realms. He
sure.
calls them
Like a plane, they're different. Plane,
yeah,
level,
different
whatever.
planes. Yeah. So, uh, you know, we've been in places before that we're interacting with multiple spirits, but they never seem to interact, and
Yeah.
they don't know each other's are there. How is that possible? They're from different times. They're on different levels of existences. And it just, to me, that started bringing things together. Okay, and without getting a little bit long-winded, I don't know if you believe in Bigfoot or not, um, but so many times you track Bigfoot uh, footprints, and then they just stop and they're gone.
Mhm.
Okay, there's no reason for that unless they go to another level of the universe. Okay,
Correct.
and I could be way off with it. I am not a Bigfoot expert, and I have a very good friend who is a Bigfoot expert. His name is Bill Rigby. He has his own Bigfoot sighting. The guy is very knowledgeable, and he just looked at me and said, "You're out of your freaking mind." And I'm like, "What other explanation?" Yes, there's a million explanations, but to me,
Mhm.
multiverse is what he calls it, the multiverse, right?
Multiverse,
Um,
of course.
they can leave, or you can have different multiverses at the same time that you're interacting
Yeah,
with, but they can't interact with each other.
correct.
And how do we manipulate the multiverse? I mean, these are all things that somebody
Mhm.
has to figure out. I'm not going to be the one to figure it out. I can tell you that, but
Right.
I'll
Oh,
talk about it.
correct. Yeah. No matter how long you do it, if you do it for 1 year, if you do it 14 years, you still learn. You're still trying to learn what the
Yep,
paranormal is. Because
yep.
I mean, we'll never understand it until we're there, until we're in that multiverse. So
But man, are we going to have a good time trying?
For sure. For sure.
So Deborah says, if a haunted location is torn down, Bobby Mackey's, or
Mhm.
another building is built on the location, or no building is built on the location, do you think the spirits will stay? Or if a building built on the location, do you think the same spirits will inhabit that building?
I honestly think it depends on if the location, like the ground itself, was haunted or if it was the building that was haunted. Um, Either way, I think they might stay just to be staying. If a spirit felt trapped in that building, but then the building is torn down and they are able to go, they might just go. So I think there's like different scenarios or answers depending on, because a lot of times they say if the location is haunted, it's going to be haunted no matter if there's a building on it or not, because it's just the land that's haunted itself. Um, but again, the building, I don't know, were they trapped in the building? Once the building is gone, do they want to stay to see if something else is there? Do they want to go next door to another? I that it's that one's a tough one to really answer for
Yeah,
me.
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Agreed. I agree with what you're saying. The same thing. It's hard to say if the land is haunted, elemental, something like that, still there. Yes, it could carry on, and even if the building's not there, if the land is haunted, it can be because there are there are stories out there about houses being gone. You still walk across that land and you'll know that something's still there on that land. So back to the paranormal again. What time frame are these spirits living in? Are they in 1955? And you tear that building down? Is that building tore down in front of them? Do they know that, or is they still in their time? So again, we're back to we don't totally understand how that stays haunted. But if you got a spot we need to go to, tell me. We'll get in the truck. We'll go there and try to check it out.
So we're going to find out really soon if they tear down Pennhurst and build a data center on this. Because if in 2 years that data center is empty, that gives you a big answer that they do not want you there.
They don't want you there. Correct.
I mean, I hate to see Pennhurst go, but this will be a great way. And maybe nobody will ever tell us if that building's haunted, but I think that people that work there, if they have interactions that they can't explain, you're going to eventually hear about it.
Correct.
But I think it's an opportunity, since we can't do anything about it, to see how that works out.
Exactly. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah. If the company goes belly up and is no longer in there, it'll make you actually stop to think, was it bad business or was it something else? So, and
another haunted location for us to go to.
There you go.
Right. Right. I'd rather have Pennhurst, but if we can't, then we'll take that building once they're done making it.
Right. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other part on that, I think, not being torn down, but if there's a building that has to be moved, like all of the buildings in Billy Creek, they've been moved there to create this little town. I think if there's something in it,
follows it.
9 times out of 10, those spirits go with that location because they're bound to that building versus the land. So that's kind of like the flip side. Oh, another little plug. We have little rocks. I post about them all the time. We leave them at every location. We have one at Billy Creek. We have one at Indiana State. So when you guys go, make sure you look for those rocks. So.
We'll be looking. And I think that's a great idea too.
And to add to that, we got some special rocks that we're going to try using too. So we'll see what happens.
We did.
Okay. Well, I got to tune in for that.
This one's actually from Indiana State. It is an odd-shaped heart.
Yes, it is a heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that one's from Indiana State as well. So we were on the roof because you can go on the roof of Adams Hall. So
Oh, cool.
And we figured out the rocks were big enough. Let's see what happens if we make a ParanormalGurlz and Tim rock out of this. So
yeah. So Misty's our rock maker, so she's going to let us know if she can actually use them. So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So but anyway, that's us in a nutshell.
I mean, I think that was great. It was worth the wait.
I know. I apologize for dropping the ball to begin with.
Listen, life always gets in the way, and I had another team that they canceled on me once. I had to cancel on them another time, and then they were just supposed to be on a couple weeks ago. And, no, they were supposed to be on tonight, and they had to cancel again.
Oh,
and I'm like, we just cannot get it together. And that's what I'm like. I knew you guys were interested, and I'm like, I need somebody I know that's going to fill this spot, because I'm like in the end of June and July that I'm filling people now, and I'm like, I know who will fill this spot.
Here we are.
I mean, 3 times, and I can't get we can't get it together with this other group, and now they're taking a break from the paranormal, so hopefully I'll be able to catch them when they come back. So it's a wild ride for sure. We've met some of the best people out here doing this. The guys from Southern Ohio Paranormal Society just jumped on here. We were just out with them this weekend. We're going to be out with them on Wednesday. We're going to another place with them. You make friends that you just know they're going to be lifelong friends. And that's really what this is. You're working on figuring out with the paranormal, but man, you need people that got your back and that can help you and throw other ideas at you. And I can't say enough about the community. And even on social media where people are sometimes really hard to deal with, there's only two groups that I have taken and unfollowed, maybe three. But for the most part, you're a good person. I'm all about it. It's the ones that come out and say, I'm not a good person and you shouldn't expect me to be. Well, then I don't need to follow you. But that is very, very few and far between. There's a lot of great groups up there.
Yeah. And we also do podcasts as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fully booked. So yeah, we're meeting a lot of other teams, locations and stuff like that. And being able to talk to them like you've talked to us, we're learning new methods and stuff that we can try as well. Right. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
We need to come up with the ultimate question though too. We need to come up with a question like Nacho. We need an ultimate question.
Yeah, we can't do a cemetery is haunted because you're doing that one. So we do need to come up with because there was another one. Theirs is what was your nope moment? So we have thrown that in a few times, like what was your most scary? But yeah, we definitely need to come up with our own question apart from other podcasts that we can throw in ours.
Yep. It's hard to find, but once you find it, you'll be like, this is it. So I actually threw this out there on the other podcast we do. And I asked it a couple times. And the third time I asked it, Ryan from Trap Souls, we do our other podcast with Ryan. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Nacho, really? You're going to ask this again? And I'm like, I am. I'm going to ask it every time. And he just kind of like rolled his eyes at me. And I'm like, okay, I'll stop asking it. But on my podcast, I'm going to ask everybody. And then I'm going to tell exactly what I told you guys about my theory on it. Mm-hmm. And right or wrong, I think it's a good theory. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah,
it definitely holds water that it could be. But and so it's kind of become my thing that, a lot of people are like, are you going to ask me about the cemetery? Well, yeah, I'm going to ask you about the cemetery. So you better brush up on it. Get an opinion.
Exactly.
There are no wrong answers. I mean, somebody can just say, no, I don't think they're haunted. Okay, well, why? And then I give you my reason. So, I mean, it's just a fun topic to talk about, I think. And especially since I was the one who was like, there's no way they're haunted. Well, yeah, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. Deborah says, if you're ever in this side of the States, please look us up. Maybe we could collab in the future. And absolutely.
We're trying to figure out, like go up there and what we could do while we're up there and how long we can be gone. Correct. Because like we're not going to drive up there for like one location.
Yep.
It's going to have to be worth going.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Well, if you come back to Ohio to Fairfield, you let me know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, for sure. You take it to the Octagon House. We'll take it to Fairfield.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be.
In the Licking County Jail. Look, Ryan just on here. He said, nope.
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan, we're talking about cemeteries.
What's Ryan's opinion?
His opinion is nope. He doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. He died.
Oh, that's shoot. Hilarious. So, yeah.
Hey, Justin, Lucifer's cage is empty.
Oh, no.
That was the from Saturday night.
Your response? Gotcha.
So the other day on our way to the Octagon House, we discovered two locations with 22 miles of that place. And it was Fairfield County and the Licking County Jail. So, yeah, the Licking County Jail is supposed to be a good one, too. So,
yeah, there's a lady that I came to know who actually lives in Lancaster, Ohio, her entire life and had never been to Fairfield. Until last October, they did a public haunt for around Halloween or whatever. So she finally went. And now she's like, I love going there. So
Yep.
you'll play devil's advocate all day. Of course you will, Ryan.
Oh,
So funny. So funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we do other podcasts with Ryan and the guys from Southern Ohio Paranormal Society. We do that once a month, although it looks
Okay.
like we may not be doing it in June because everybody's busy. Ryan's going to England,
Oh, nice.
Mr. Busybody.
That would be nice, though.
It would.
For sure.
Definitely a bucket list trip right there.
Right? Are you going to go ghost hunting while you're over there, Ryan?
Oh, that's what he's doing.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
I'm so jealous.
I forget he's meeting up, Emily Paranormal and somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got the whole thing already planned.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what he brings back.
Yeah, that'll be
That'd be
interesting for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I appreciate you guys jumping on here, even at short notice.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything you want to say before we go?
Go
Just,
ahead, Brenda.
as I say, just give us a follow if you haven't. Check us out. Come join our podcast. Hit up Nacho. He's awesome. Hit up Ryan. Ryan's another awesome podcast to be on. Sorry, Southern Ohio. Haven't gotten in there yet. But yeah, to the Octagon.
Ghostly Gatherings is the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ghostly Gatherings. Yeah, we follow both of them. We follow them all.
Good.
So,
Have a great
for
trip.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for letting us come on and sit with you.
Absolutely.
Didn't see the cowbells go off, so they must have liked us so much.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's like this. And I always tell everybody what's behind me is a block wall that's underground. So nothing in the house is going to move to make them go off. And when it goes off, it's them. But
Gotcha.
they were quiet tonight.
Gotcha.
So Paranormal Girls and Tim on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube is all Paranormal Girls ... and Tim. Facebook wouldn't let me put the dots in for some reason. But yeah, those are all of our platforms. The next podcast is Wednesday night. We have Ghostlight Paranormal, and that's at 7 p.m. Central.
Correct.
We are doing another guest appearance tomorrow night on another podcast, though. So we're booked.
Nice.
Booked.
Be a busy week. Yep. So check us out on YouTube, Facebook. Go out there and get it. If you like it, I'll leave you with this. If you like ghost hunting with us, just get in the truck.
Get in the truck.
Yeah.
Drive by and pick me up. I'm jumping in.
I'll be there.
We'll slow down to 35.
We'll be there.
We'll roll by at 35. Jump quick.
I'm old and fat. You're going to have to slow down to like 2. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. Much appreciated. This was fun. Absolutely fun. And you can go back and watch it on YouTube anytime you want. Share it to your friends and families. It doesn't stay on Facebook very long, but it'll be on YouTube. And I appreciate you. And if you ever need a guest for your podcast, I can. Yeah.
We will have you on. We are currently booking for September.
Woo!
That's how booked we are.
Correct.
Mars says, "Can I go too?" Sure, Mars, jump on.
Absolutely.
I will let you know the dates in September, and we would love to get you on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
We'll
play a little music for you on the way out.
All right. Mood music.
Yeah.
Mood music. So I can figure out how to play it. Maybe I can.
End live.
Maybe.
You're not alone. Midnight signal breaking through the noise. Shadows got a voice. You don't got a choice. We're diving past the edge of what you thought was normal, where the silence screams, welcome to the portal. Step inside, yeah, you cross that line. This is where the strange comes alive. The other side of a normal. The other side!